Sorry, we were eating dinner.
I'm sorry.
And it takes me a really long time to get to the office.
I am sorry. This is on me.
No, don't worry.
No, we had a plan. And then the afternoon kind of got ahead of me.
Yeah, I know.
I want to talk about you though.
Oh,
tell me everything.
Well, what is there to tell?
So you did this thing. You gave up your kidney.
I did,
and now you are monokidney, which is what
I am.
I think they call your kind. Unikidney.
Yes, unikidney, UK for short.
And how was it? What was the experience like?
Well, let's see. I missed the extraction part. Luckily, I was out for that.
Okay.
And the rest of it was, it took some adjusting. There's still a lot of pain and a lot of random aches.
Where did they cut into you? Like, where's the incision?
Well, there's actually 4 incisions technically.
What?
That's one
too many.
Well, there's one incision really that's about 3 inches long, right below my belly button, and then there's 3 little like pinholes that they use, like across the left side of my belly, that they basically put tools in through, and they inflate your belly is what they do. Because of this laparoscopic surgery, they don't have to like slice you all the way across or anything gargantuan. It's just a relatively small hole that's big enough to get a kidney out, and then the doctor goes in, they inflate you up so they can kind of shuffle things around a little bit. You go all the way to the back and staple the arteries shut, remove the kidney, pull it out, and go stick it in another guy.
So they didn't go in through your back?
No,
I totally would have thought they would have rolled you over and pulled it out through the back.
They don't like, apparently, because I asked that. I'm like, why don't they just go through the back? Because the kidney's right there.
It's like surface.
It seems obvious.
It's like opening a package, right? If they cut into you, they might just slice open what's inside.
No, it's not like that, but they said it's much more difficult for them to do surgery on a patient when they're face down.
Oh.
As far as the patient's health, monitoring the patient.
Breathing.
Exactly, all that sort of stuff. So even though it's more work for them to go through the front, it's better for the patient's health to do it that way. So I'm all for that.
That's bananas. Okay, so I'm also curious about the settling process, right? So they took out this kidney, and now there's like space to move around. What fills that in? Just organ? Just stuff?
Things kind of squish around in there. And it was weird because yesterday I was feeling my back, and I could actually feel like a divot like on that side of my back when I would push in. I was like, wow, there's this spot, and I can still kind of feel it. I can still push in a little bit, and it's just a little less, tough right there. It kind of moves in a little bit farther. So,
wow,
yeah, it's a little strange. And it was like I was feeling. I was calling it my ghost kidney pains. Like I was pretending I was feeling my ghost kidney, but it's like I could feel things shifting yesterday, and just like as things were kind of moving around a little bit, but kind of filling the void, so to speak.
What's your? That's really horrible. Thanks for that. So what is your general state of energy and movement? I mean, it's been now, what, 4 or 5 days?
It's been, it happened midday on Tuesday, and toward the end of the day on Saturday now. So It's it fluctuates. I mean, I had 1 day in the hospital, and a lot of that was just really adjusting to it was really time for them to figure out how to get a hold of my pain and nausea and all that, and get past all the drugs that they give me to the anesthesia and everything else. And now it's like I go through moments where I'm feeling great, and it's like, I kind of forget to even take a Percocet because I don't feel anything at all. And then all of a sudden you'll have these moments of...
you remember. The Percocet.
Well, it's when you start moving, really. It's like, oh yeah, this is why I need to take those pills. Because you're really slow. You're really, really slow.
Wow. So that's when the pain happens. So you're still you're like a cat, 20 hours a day, pretty much sleeping and resting. It's kind of
Pretty much sitting on my couch. Yeah, it's hard to sleep in bed right now. It's hard for me to lay flat down. So I've been sleeping on the couch, sitting up, which feels a little better. And just a lot of time staring at the TV and kind of slowly walking to and from the bathroom or the office or the kitchen.
Is your family pretty sick of you?
I don't think they're sick of me, so to speak, but I think my wife is sick of having to do everything around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel a little bad about that, but there's not a whole lot I can do.
Do you have an update on your buddy and how he's doing with your machinery?
The kidney is, as in his words, or in his doctor's words, really, the kidney is doing better than expected. So,
wow.
Yeah, it really. I guess I had a super healthy kidney. Hopefully, my other one that I still have is equally healthy.
He took the good one and left you with the dud.
That's right.
No.
No, it's. I think that it was a really healthy kidney. It's performing beyond expectations. He went home already, and I mean, he's got to keep going back and forth to the doctor a little more than I do, just because of the transition that his body is making from where it had been. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, I mean, he feels great. He says it's really kind of opened his eyes to the things that the little things that he wasn't appreciating so much beforehand.
Wow. That is wonderful.
So yeah, it's amazing to hear, and I mean, his family, they're just great. It was nice to meet them, and they all felt so bad that for one reason or another they couldn't do it, and so they just are thrilled
sure.
that he's kind of back in a place where he used to be, because it's been a good. It was I think summer 2013 when he kind of went down, so it's been. Wow. It's been a year and a half of really hard times for him.
Wow. Well, that is great to hear. Do you have any, are there any long-term sort of medical requirements on you both now living with one kidney, like medications or anything that you're on now forever and ever? Or is this pretty much once you heal, you're back to normal?
It's easier for me. I mean, he'll certainly be on medications for life regardless because, he has somebody else's kidney in his body now. Right, and so... Right. So he'll be on some stuff for life. As far as I'm concerned, I really can pretty much live as normal. I can't drink quite as much. I can't take certain medicines now, like Advil is out because of how it affects your kidney and your liver, which is unfortunate because that was always the
it's
bottle
a go-to.
I would grab for. Right, exactly. And other than that, they said just don't join any kickboxing or tackle football groups.
That's a good safety tip.
Yes.
Okay, the important stuff. Have you seen any movies you want to talk about very briefly that we haven't talked about before?
That we haven't talked about before. I have. I have been watching a lot of movies. And I don't know if any of them are anything worth talking about. I did see, I rewatched the first and second Hobbit films in preparation for hopefully getting out to the movie theater sometime soon. I've just been plowing through a lot of stuff. I watched a couple more Ellen Burstyn films. I watched Despicable Me 2 while I was at the hospital, hopped up on morphine, and it was really... trippy movie to get through that state. That's probably a better way to watch it, I think. I watched The Hunt, which I really, really liked. That was the foreign language film with Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Very kind of horrifying film that I watched. And I watched John Carpenter's latest effort, The Ward, which was rather disappointing.
Oh.
And, then other than that...
Given some of our conversation around John Carpenter, maybe that's not a surprise.
Well, the thing about it is it just felt like a film that may as well have just been made in the 70s or 80s because it felt like nothing original. It felt like I'd seen that movie before 20 or 30 years ago.
Right, sure.
And
that's too bad.
Yeah, I was just like, well, at least I can check it off my John Carpenter list.
Fair enough.
And then just to add a little torture to everything, I watched Peter Pan with the kids.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, you got through it, so silver lining, now you don't have to do it again.
Exactly. Now I can skip it forever.
Well, do you have any message you'd like to share in preparation for our conversation on the Battle of the Five Armies?
I look forward to listening to it once I've actually gone and seen it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm curious to find out what the verdict was, the last of the films. I've kind of gotten from somebody who was not that thrilled with the first one. I ended up, as I read the book to my daughter, and ended up kind of just getting into it with her because it was her thing that she really started getting into. I kind of found new joy about the films. I really enjoy them quite a bit, and I know they're not Lord of the Rings, but they are very fun for what he created within this trilogy, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting out and seeing them. And I'm curious. The versions that I just watched are the extended editions, and there's a lot more meat dealing with like Thorin's father. Pops up in the second one, and he wasn't in the theatrical version, and so
right.
I'm curious how much better that ends up playing into the third one, having seen the bits with Thrain.
Sure.
So
sure. Well, you'll note I'm saying nothing.
I do know that.
I am trying not to spoil it for you in particular. So we're having the show. We're going to talk about the movie in just about an hour from now. So you can listen to it tomorrow. I hope you are able to get out and sit through it.
I hope so too.
In a good way. I mean that like in a kidney way, not that it's torture to watch.
No, exactly. Yeah,
it may be torture to watch, but I'm not telling you.
I have a feeling if I was watching it in the 3D high frame rate, then it would be torture, regardless of what I thought about the film.
I did see it in 3D high frame rate.
Oh, you did?
I did. I know.
Did you? Have you noticed an improvement from? Because you've seen all three of them high frame rate. Now,
I have.
Right?
I've seen all three of them both, high frame rate and standard 3D and non 3D standard projection, and it's still. I have a new perspective on it, I think, which is that it still looks like it goes back and forth between looking like Telemundo to looking like everything is shot with a tilt shift lens to looking absolutely stunningly gorgeous in the heavy effects CG arena. So Smaug, for example, is stunningly beautiful in this film. But anytime you get a crowd together, it's ridiculous to me. And so right. I'm really looking forward to seeing it again in standard projection. And so, as you can imagine, there are a lot of crowds in this film. So I'm looking forward to seeing it again in standard definition. I'm still a little bit stunned that Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty, still thinks this iteration of whatever it is the future of cinema, because I'm not there.
Yeah, so. I saw one, and I just don't think I could ever go back to it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a good experience for you. I hope you are able to get out of the house and check it out. But generally, man, I am really glad to hear your voice.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Well, It's not so hard talking. It's moving around is the hard part,
yeah.
And I do get winded pretty quickly.
Sure. Well, I don't want you to bust a stitch, so you get back to it, and we all wish you well and definitely miss you on the show tonight. So
I know I'm so bummed, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Have a great show, buddy.
Good night, buddy.